Hello, my name is Jon Hodgson. I'm one of the illustrators working on the One Ring role-playing game for Cubicle 7 and Sophisticated Games. And we're kind of between big official videos right now. I've got some stuff. I've had a conversation with lead designer Francesco, and I'm working on editing that together, and I need to schedule some more with him. We're all hard at work at the moment on producing supplements. The core set, which you can see here, has come out, and that's in the hands of players across the world. We've had some great success with the number of translations that the game has seen. I'm not going to attempt to list them all because I'll forget someone, and that wouldn't be right, but it's in languages across Europe and the world. And as I say, we're hard at work on supplements. I'm currently illustrating Tales from Wilderland, which is the first book of adventures, written by Gar Hanrahan and Francesco, and it's absolutely brilliant stuff so far. I'm really excited to get the chance to play it, and I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. I've been making some maps, doing lots of artwork. But this video, before I waffle on too long, got to remember we've not got too long on YouTube. I made a video previously showing some of the influences on the artwork I used for the core set, and this is kind of a follow-up to show you what I've been investing some of my ill-gotten gains from working on the One Ring in. So I've been stocking up on various new pieces of reference material. So let's have a look. Okay, what have we got? Okay, the maps of Tolkien's Middle-earth, Brian Sibley and John Howe. I got myself the nice slipcase version of that, which is faintly reminiscent of my favourite role-playing game, and this has got great poster maps of Middle-earth. Really good, handy reference. I need to get some of those up on the wall in my studio just to be able to reference those. Similarly, Atlas of Middle-earth by Karen Wynne Fonstad. Really great piece of work. Real kind of cartographer's maps. Lots of zoomed in stuff. Coming from the perspective of Middle-earth as a real place, where, for example, the goblin tunnels in the Misty Mountains can be measured. I'm kind of from the school of thought, I think in line with the game of the One Ring, that it's as long, tunnels are as long as they need to be for the story. But hey, it's nice to read this kind of more empirical take on it. Lovely bit of Alan Lee on the cover there. What else have we got? Talking of other Tolkien illustrators, a Tolkien tapestry by Core Block. Highly recommended. If you're a real Tolkien aficionado, you'll be aware of Core Block as one of the Professor himself's favourite illustrators for the Lord of the Rings. Just great stuff in here. A really different take on Lord of the Rings. A much more sort of graphic approach, far less of the kind of over-rendered stuff that I do. This is real storybook stuff, and I love it. There's a couple of great essays in there about the pitfalls of illustrating Middle-earth, which I really warm to. A great read. Talking of the Professor, Letters of J.R.R. Tolkien. An absolutely brilliant read. Again, so much of the depth is in Tolkien's letters, and it's been a wonderful read. I'm about halfway through, and I'm getting a lot out of reading this one. Something that's been discussed on the various forums where the One Ring has come up is this: as gamers, we often have a need for hard canon. You know, where do orcs come from? Well, Tolkien himself never really finished his work, you know, and a lot of things remained fluid, and you can get a great insight into some of the reasons behind that through his letters. Brilliant book, highly recommended. From the same series, The History of Middle-earth. This is volume 12, Peoples of Middle-earth. Not the lightest reading, these, but again important. I won't dwell on that, but great stuff. And that looks like a cover from our friend John Howe, who's the lead artist on the One Ring. You'll hear a lot from me in these videos because I'm around and I make videos, but John, who worked on it, Thomas, who worked on it, slightly less visible in that they don't make videos, but they're busy. I do, but I'm one of 3 people working on the game. I just thought I should point that out in case you get the wrong impression that it's just me. It's not. Right, Unfinished Tales. Read that a very long time ago, lost my copy, got a new copy, reading it, great. Origins of Tolkien's Middle-earth for Dummies. by Greg Harvey. Great book, actually. Spotted a few things from reading all the other things I've been showing, spotted a few things that perhaps I would disagree with or that I think are factually untrue, but then it's a guide for dummies rather than the super thick encyclopedias we see about Middle-earth. And this is just a really great, quick reference guide, which I did need for some of the stuff that I'm less familiar with. Really handy to be able to just pull that out and look things up and get a quick thumbnail version of things. Right, now stepping sideways into historical stuff. The sword in Anglo-Saxon England. Really enjoying doing a lot of study into swords at the moment. I knew a fair amount about, in inverted commas, Dark Age weaponry and swords and so on, but I'm really starting to study up. I'm under contract now to Cubicle 7, and that gives me the opportunity to really focus what I'm doing and do a real depth of study. So the sword in Anglo-Saxon England and Swords of the Viking Age. Both brilliant books. This one slightly more wordy, this one full of amazing full-page pictures of the major sword finds of Europe. I mean, just incredible stuff. Well worth a look if you have any interest in these things. And something I'm getting a lot out of is reading the kind of archaeological classifications and the more technical terms for the different types of sword hilt and so on. Learning loads, loving it. What else have we got here? René Lalique, Exceptional Jewellery, 1890 to 1912. This is a fantastic book. Beautiful hardcover. I always had the idea to use some Lalique. I think Art Nouveau we would want to use very carefully, but William Morris, you know, one of the sort of forebears of Art Nouveau, if you like, or certainly, you know, we're in the right ballpark, was a great influence on Tolkien. And I just think these things just strike me as elvish, you know? Elvish, elven, am I going to get in trouble? Am I using the wrong words? But just beautiful stuff. Using it sparingly, keeping it to the elves, certainly the Noldor elves. I've just painted a Noldor elf, and she had some very Lalique-inspired items about her person. Just the beautiful, beautiful Art Nouveau line strikes me as being spot on. So there we go, got a lot out of that book. What have we got here? Hammer of the North by Magnus Magnusson. If you were a child of the 70s who watched BBC TV, you will remember Magnus Magnusson from his programmes about Vikings. I think Magnus Magnusson really popularised Vikings to the British audience, myself included. And this is just one of those nice big picture books with big pictures of Viking stuff. Check that sword out. Great stuff. Like big pictures. I think this one appeared in the last video. Sutton Hoo Ship Burial. What have we got? Osprey books, Viking Hersia. I can't believe I didn't have that book, but I didn't. But I have now. Staffordshire Hoard. Great stuff. Anglo-Saxon Hoard. These little books from British Museum Press are wonderful. They have just really big close-up pictures of the finds from various hoards and treasures that have been found, and I'm finding these so useful for, as well as the kind of diagrammatic kind of, you know, I can take the designs from these. The colours are just brilliant, and old gold is a wonderful thing to try and paint right. So these books are really helping me out. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. What else have we got in the similar line? The Prittlewell Prince. Discovery of a rich Anglo-Saxon burial in Essex. Another fine little book that just shows you finds in close-up. Great stuff. I mean, you just wouldn't make this stuff up unless you'd studied it. Some great coins. Similarly, the Vale of York Hoard. Really nice little book. A lot of stuff that casual Viking scholars like myself will recognise that photograph. It's in a lot of books. And this hoard of silver that was found in York. But again, great close-ups of the various finds informing the work. I want to keep it rooted in history as far as possible, where I can. The Sutton Hoo helmet. Awesome. I've just ordered another one in this from the same press. That's treasures of the Sutton Hoo Ship Burial, and I don't mind a bit of repetition. Look at that. Amazing stuff, eh? Absolutely beautiful. And something, I mean, that tickles me is I've always, when I've played role-playing games from being a kid, I always imagined things, you know, looking like this stuff, very rooted in history. And I think stuff that's rooted in history is also closer to the myths, if you like, and that's how I've always imagined things. And I don't see a lot of it about. Art direction of fantasy games tends to be highly rooted in fantasy, funnily enough, and it's tickling me to be able to bring some of this stuff in. Certainly to Lord of the Rings, I think it's very important. But there we go. So that's my little show for the day of my ill-gotten gains. And yeah, I'm still finding some time to paint as well as read. So hopefully we will have some more things to show you soon. We are working on, yeah, as I said, Tales from Wilderland and the GM screen. Both hard at work on those. Great stuff. Thanks for tuning in.